Hi everyone, IntuitiveEdge here. So let's talk about what happened with this election. It was quite interesting to see this. Honestly, I was a little worried that some funny business might be a little too much and we might see a redux of 2020, but that didn't seem to happen. And there's been quite an interesting fallout from this. I want to talk a little bit about California. Now, in my last video, one of my predictions was that California could possibly flip red. Now, what's interesting about that is, although it did not flip red in this election, there was quite a bit of activity and movement. It was perhaps one of the states that moved the most, which is fascinating. I also saw in my last video, I described a man down in San Diego. I thought he was maybe military or law enforcement, but I saw him standing and being like so thankful, so grateful, like there was something really good happening. And I think I've identified him. His name is Carl DeMaio. Now, he is the president of a coalition called Reform California, and he was just recently, in this latest election, elected to the California State Legislature for the 75th District. He is a little bulldog and wanting to reform California to take it from the jaws of the far left and bring common sense back to the state of California. So I'll go give him a follow, just giving him a little shout out. He was noticing some of the interesting things that happened in this last election. For instance, from the 2020 election to comparing it to the 2024 election, 10 counties in California flipped red. Now that is huge for the state of California. Fresno County went to a plus 8.4% toward Trump, flipping Fresno County red. Orange County flipped red. Riverside County in 2020 was at 45% for Trump. This election in 2024, 49.7%. San Bernardino County from 2020 was at 43.5% for Trump. For 2024, it was 51.1% for a net gain of 7.6%, flipping San Bernardino County for Trump. Merced County had a whopping plus 9% from 2020 to 2024. Other counties that flipped red were Butte County, San Joaquin, Nevada County, Inyo County, and Stanislaus County. Those all flipped red. Now that is pretty incredible. So I think that this is what I was picking up on in my last video. Even though I didn't get it right that the state flipped red in the election, there's definitely some shifting and some movement there in California. And perhaps if that trend continues, in 2028, California could very well be a swing state. Wouldn't that be interesting? Because if you think about it, California with their 55, I think it is, electoral votes, if that went to the Republicans, that would make it very, very, very difficult, if not impossible, for the Democrats to hang on to or even be competitive in a national election. So let's take a look more into what might be coming up. Let's see what energies we can pick up on. My last video was pretty much focused on the election, and now that that's over, let's take a look at our month ahead or what might be coming up in the next few weeks. All right. Okay, so I just tried to do my meditation, and I have so much energy pulsing through me for this month. I might just have to just channel and let it fly. Okay. What I'm pulling in, I saw a grandfather clock. And the grandfather clock is striking midnight. We're here. We're at midnight. It's no longer this, the clock that's like 2 minutes till or a minute till, as they say, like psychically, we're seeing. No, it's midnight. We're there. It's done. Go time, shift time, whatever time. It's. I heard day of reckoning. I heard birds will scatter. I heard unholy alliances exposed and everything changing. Everything changing. And I'm feeling like this could be like in a day or in a matter of hours. Like everything is going to be different. We are on the precipice, looking over and getting ready to take a leap off the cliff. And we just need to make sure that we have our hang gliders set or parachutes set, whatever apparatus to glide over the chasm that we are staring over. This is going to be a wild time. And it feels like things are going along rather nicely up until things are different and things shift, and it's a new path, a new trajectory, I don't know. It's like quick, sudden change. It's going to be nice up until that time. Like right now, everything's nice. Everything's good. The election's over. No riots, no looting, no burning down cities. Everything's cool. Until things shift. Okay. And I don't know what that shift's going to look like. All right. I'm sitting with this, like, just this intense energy wanting to speak. So I'm going to pull back into that and then hit record. I'll be right back. All right. So pulling in, what I'm seeing in my mind's eye is a small, unassuming cabin in the woods. Nothing fancy, just a little shack, a little cabin. And all of a sudden I'm seeing like bulldozer coming in and just clearing a path, trees and all, just coming through and bulldozing everything down. I wonder if this is in North Carolina. But I'm just seeing like bulldozers coming in, just flattening everything. I think the house was vacant. But everything is just being leveled. No regard for the ecosystem that's there. No thought, no care. Just bulldoze it. Oh, this feels terrible. Yeah, I'm thinking this is North Carolina. I'm thinking they're going in and just doing what they want with the land now that they cleared all the people out of there. My opinion, maybe I shouldn't say too much about that, but that's what I think happened. I think that's why the storm came through. Help clear everybody out. That's what I'm seeing. I'm feeling like they're just coming in and just completely ransacking the place. I'm actually getting the sense that it can be stopped. We certainly energetically have the power to do things like that. Many of you prayed. We saw what happened with Hurricane Helene, and when Milton came through, people took notice and said, we're not going to let that energetically happen again, and prayed against it. I'm getting the same thing with this. This can be thwarted. It can be stopped if people know about it. But something's telling me it's going to get noticed. Somebody could be spilling the beans. There could be another person that comes forward to James O'Keefe. Look for that, possibly. He could have a role in this, or his organization, OMG Media, possibly. There could be some scrutiny or shining the light on efforts or groups that are, maybe they're trying to go in under the radar without really securing proper rights. There's disputes, and if this gets dragged up in the courts, but it's going to take some effort, maybe that's kind of this race against the clock too. When I was seeing that grandfather clock, is like, this is all going to happen really soon and really quickly, and there needs to be some eyes on this. I'm getting OMG Media with this. Somebody's reaching out to James O'Keefe, possibly already has, and I don't think James has put anything out yet, but he's possibly already been contacted by some supporters or coalition of people that are coming forward in North Carolina, and they're blowing the whistle on this takeover of the land. It has to go through the proper process, and there's something that's wanting to just rush in and start the clearing of the land and the work for the mining, and it's like, this has got to go through the proper processes first, and something about that isn't being done properly, and this is what's gonna maybe blow the whistle on something with that. That there's a guy at the forefront of this. He's possibly a whistleblower in like the construction teams or a company that's going in to strip that land and start their mining. It's like they think that there's enough with the permitting process, but the process of determining ownership hasn't been done properly. This is what I'm pulling in. That needs to happen first. Just pulling all this in, guys. It feels like the permitting thing, there was some type of step that still needs to happen, and it's not proper. It's like, I feel like this race against time, though, because they're getting ready to go in and start bulldozing. It's going to take some effort for the people to get the legal paperwork put in place, but I'm feeling like there is a chance to slow this down so that it's not just bull in a china shop leveling everything. And they may level some of it, they may start, but then I think there's going to hit a snag. I feel like the people have to act like now if they want to get this slowed down, to buy them some time before everything is lost. I also get something with surveillance. It's pretty high tech because the land is completely changed now. The old maps are, I think it's even changed what's on the map. And there's a lot of new surveillance going in up there with drones and other technology. I'm thinking this is going to be drawn out in the courts, and it may not be resolved until like early next year. I think there's going to be an injunction, and it's going to stop or halt or slow. And then early next year, maybe February, there may be some litigation in the courts. I'm getting a sense of like the people. I don't know if the judgment is going to come down on the side of the people. There could be something really good come of this. Stay tuned on this issue with North Carolina. There's something that's going to come in with the courts. I don't know which issue it is. Is it the whole thing, or is it like one piece? But there's a piece or a whole thing that's going to go in the favor of the people. And this is going to be huge. I think some of it's going to happen, but then there's going to be a pause, a stop, an injunction. But the people are going to win. I think it's going to be decided at the Federal Circuit Court of Appeals for that area. And there's going to be an injunction, and it's going to change. I see some rebuilding. I see the people actually going back on the land and rebuilding. but it's going to be a little hard fought battle to get there. But that's what I see happening. Okay, gosh, that took a lot. Moving back to November, I'm feeling like there's a big shift coming right at the end of the month. Things are going to be very different, and the energies are going to shift and change. Everything is shifting and changing, and we are shifting and changing. And reality might be bending and shifting a little bit. Okay, I'm going to stop this here. This was a lot to absorb. I will be back on in another video. All right, everybody, take care. Bye for now.